your inbox is flooded with inquiries, your phone won't stop ringing, and your calendar is packed with meetings, all with potential clients eager to work with you. That's the dream, right? Let me show you some strategies to help make it happen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use disruptive content to generate hundreds of qualified leads for your business, regardless of your niche or location. Hey, my name is Marley Jaxx, and for almost a decade, I have helped thousands of service providers and businesses create disruptive content that breaks through the sea of sameness, sets them apart from their competition, and turns them into a household name, the go-to icon of their industry, and generates a flood of warm inbound leads and potential customers that they can sell their services to. So whether you're a real estate agent, a lawyer, a doctor, an electrician, a plumber, a one-person business, a contractor, or a 100-person company owner, and no matter where you're located, today I'm going to share with you exactly why you need to be creating content that disrupts and how it can generate a flywheel effect of inbound leads for your business for almost $0. Let's get into it. First, why should you even bother creating content? Well, I could give you 1,000,001 reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is this. When you think about almost all of the successful brands and companies out there, what are they really? Sure, they might provide real estate or legal services, but that's not really what they are. Ask me what they are. Go ahead, ask me. They're a combination of a brand and a media company. Yeah, they're basically running their own little TV channel. So think about it like this. When they create content that educates and entertains, they're not just showing off how great they are at their job. That builds their brand. And through that content, they boost their visibility, they connect with their audience, they stay top of mind and become known as knowledgeable experts in their space. It's like being the cool kid that everyone wants to hang out with. And this all grows a huge amount of trust and credibility and authority with their audience, and that opens doors to opportunities. And two of the biggest problems that new clients come to me with, first of all, their traditional marketing methods like billboards, flyers, paid ads, TV and radio spots have become significantly more expensive. And guess what? The results are worse than ever before. Ouch. So let's get one thing out of the way. While content creation can be done for very little money or even for free in some cases, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a cost. It does, and that cost is time. You need to be willing, able, and disciplined enough to keep producing quality content regularly. And despite ad costs rising, the ROI is questionable, especially as most of the leads they bring in are far more transactional, like one-night stands of the marketing world. Meanwhile, your organic content is an evergreen lead machine that brings in new opportunities now and well into the future. It's like planting a money tree in your backyard. And the other point that people bring to me is how saturated their industry is. It's true, in pretty much every niche, you have hundreds and thousands of competitors online. They're taking advantage of platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, but most of their content falls flat. Because they follow the status quo. They're doing what everyone else does, like the same boring reruns over and over again. And with so much noise out there in this attention economy, oftentimes they'll just fade into obscurity. Which is why you shouldn't just be creating content, but creating disruptive content that hijacks attention and positions you head and shoulders above them so that you attract ready-to-pay leads. They see your content, they get hooked, and boom, they are reaching out to work with you. So what is disruptive content? Well, to go into that in depth would be a full tutorial in itself, but to sum it up, you could say that disruptive content challenges and breaks the status quo and hooks your audience in brand new ways. Every person you've paid attention to who you didn't already know had an element of disruption. If it isn't disruptive, it doesn't create attention. So how do you create disruptive content? Firstly, it's all about the research. You have to know your audience almost better than they know themselves. Creepy? Maybe. Effective? Definitely. To create content that disrupts, you need to have a deep understanding of your target audience. This means knowing their pain points, their desires, the kind of content they consume. You need to get into their heads, but in a nice, non-invasive way. Ask yourself, what are their biggest challenges? What keeps them up at night? What kind of content do they engage with the most? What's their go-to karaoke song? This can reveal a lot about a person, trust me. The more you know about your audience, the better you can tailor your content to resonate with them. It's like being a mind reader, but without the magic hat. Then you have to figure out what sets you and your services apart from your competitors. This is your unique value proposition, or UVP. What makes you the superhero of your industry while everyone else is just the sidekicks? So think about it. What unique services or skills do you offer? How do you solve problems differently than others in your field? Or what unique perspectives or experience do you bring to the table? Basically, what is your superpower that makes you stand out in a sea of Clark Kents? Your UVP should be the cornerstone of your content, because this is what makes your audience choose you over your competitors, and first impressions count. Like online, your headlines and your hooks, they're like the first handshake. They need to be compelling enough to grab attention and make people want to click. So one of the first things that we have our clients study is copywriting. Knowing at least the basics of how to write words that capture attention and sell will improve almost everything you do. So get cozy with your thesaurus and start practicing those one-liners. Like, your audience will thank you, and so will your bottom line. And when it comes to creating your headlines and hooks and scripts, you can use numbers or lists like 5 things to, or you can ask provocative questions like, are you making these mistakes in? Make a bold statement why everything you know about blank is wrong. Or offer a clear benefit, like how to double your blank in 30 days. Then you gotta put your storytelling hat on. You gotta be like the Spielberg of your industry, because people love stories. They're engaging, they're memorable, and they make your content relatable. And there are a ton of things you can tell a story about, like a personal anecdote related to your industry, like some behind the scenes moments, a success story of a client, show off your wins, a lesson you learned the hard way, so make them laugh and learn from your mistakes. But make sure that your story has a clear beginning, middle, and end, and that it ties back to the main point of your content. And don't be afraid of sharing the good and the bad, because oftentimes your mess is your message. Like, crazy enough, the times that I shared my divorce, my cancer, and when I got canceled, my audience grew the most. You crazy people, you. There are people out there with the same problems that you had and the same challenges that you face. So one of the biggest secrets that successful storytellers know and use is the hero's journey. It's a story that involves the hero, which is either you or, even better, your potential customer, who goes on an adventure. They meet an enemy and they are victorious in a decisive crisis or battle and comes home completely changed or transformed with the prize. We see this in movies, in books, TV, all the time. It is classic and it works every time. And trust me, when you find the enemy in your industry and throw rocks at them, metaphorically, of course, you build an incredible connection with your audience. Now, your enemy doesn't have to be a person. In fact, it probably isn't, but it is a thing. Maybe it's taxes or fees, or maybe it's expensive or unnecessary treatments, or maybe it's other things that your competitors do, the prices they charge, the quality they deliver. Knowing your customers and your industry's enemy and throwing metaphorical rocks at them is a very powerful tool to bring your audience closer to you, because you're advocating or defending for them. One of the things that I share with my clients when it comes to creating disruptive content is it's not just what you say, but how you say it and how that looks. In a world where content is everywhere, the quality of your visuals and production can make a huge difference. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on the newest, fanciest camera or create an entire studio. Oftentimes your smartphone will do. And if you make sure that your videos are well lit, have clear audio, and use high quality images and graphics, and that your editing is smooth and professional, then you'll give out a professional, incredible vibe, which will attract attention. Then the biggest one of them all, and where most people fail, is you've got to be consistent. You need to show up regularly with fresh content to stay top of mind with your audience. You got to be like the friend who's always there, not the one who disappears for months and then suddenly shows up when they need something. Like when you have a new offer to put out, you're trying to sell something. And because consistency is key, you might like some systems in place to help, like creating a content calendar or batch producing your content and setting up a regular posting schedule that you can stick to. It's like brushing your teeth, make it a non-negotiable habit. The more consistent you are, the more your audience will come to rely on you. You will be their go-to guru. Like, remember, it is called social media for a reason. Content creation doesn't end when you just upload and hit publish. So you got to engage with your audience by responding to comments, asking them questions, encouraging them to share their thoughts. So think of it as like hosting a party. You wouldn't just leave your guests hanging, right? Engagement helps build a community around your brand and builds those deep connections with your audience. So it's like making friends who genuinely look forward to hearing from you. And then finally, always analyze the performance of your content and iterate based on what works versus what doesn't. We have analytics tools to track your views, your likes, your shares, your comments. It's like your content's report card. So understand which topics are resonating most with your audience and find out what makes your audience tick. Look at the best times to post because timing can make a big difference. And when you're continuously analyzing and adjusting your approach, this will help make sure that your content is effective and engaging and you're constantly fine-tuning it until it's perfect. But how does disruptive content generate inbound leads? I'm so glad you asked. When you create disruptive content, you're not just grabbing attention, you're creating a connection. So here's how it leads to inbound leads. Disruptive content stands out and gets shared more often, which is going to increase your reach. It's like your content is the life of the party and everyone wants to introduce you to their friends. When you provide valuable, unique content that builds trust with your audience, it makes them more likely to choose your service. And then think of it like you become the trusted advisor that they turn to in times of need or they tell their friends about. And when you have a common enemy, that actually forges a bond because it's like you and your audience are united against a common challenge. It strengthens your connections. It's like being on the same team in the game. And engaged audiences are more likely to convert into leads because they feel that connection with you, that you're fighting that enemy together, that you're not just a service provider, but you're their ally. And from more of a technical side, think of high quality engaging content is what's going to improve your search engine ranking. So it makes it easier for potential clients to find you when they search for someone to help them. And when you create content, always include a clear call to action. Whether it's signing up for a newsletter or downloading a free guide or booking a consultation or getting them on a call, tell them the next steps. Always tell them the next steps. Don't leave them hanging. Show them the way. Offer them some kind of a resource like an ebook or a checklist or a template in exchange for their contact information. Fair trade. Their email for your awesome content. And this helps you capture leads directly from your content. And then once you have your leads, nurture them through email and SMS marketing. You're always staying in touch with them to build that relationship so you can provide additional value, share your story so you get to know each other, gently guide them towards your services. Or if you're also feeling old school, you can pick up the phone and call them because nothing beats a personal touch. We also use third-party data, and if you can, showcase testimonials, case studies, and reviews in your content. Like social proof, that builds credibility and significantly increases your conversion rates. It's like having your satisfied clients do the talking for you. Creating disruptive content isn't about reinventing the wheel, but it is about disrupting the status quo and doing things differently. Offering that contrarian point of view and doing what the mainstream masses don't. And when you understand your audience deeply and showcase your unique value and consistently deliver high quality, engaging content that disrupts, your content will turn into a living, breathing lead generation machine that delivers a flood of warm inbound leads for your service-led business. And if you'd like to step up your disruptive content creation so you can generate even more leads and potential customers, you might like to check out my free viral video preparation checklist. I'll even send you a free guide on how to create viral hooks that hijack attention too. So click the link in the description.